guys, it's Amy at Zoe Buck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for, what is it, March 13th? Yeah, 2022. So, this has been, it was a pretty good work week, so I'm glad I made it through that. It's just, you know, it's really funny because right now I have so many things to do with my job transition and the new things I have to do for that I think about it way too much at home, thinking about things I have to do or my to-do list kind of thing. And I did make a lot of progress this week, so I'm really proud about that and moving forward. So I think I'm getting closer to that point where I won't be doing this so much, but it really, really has affected my reading. I definitely, at least I'm reading. I mean, I'll give you that. It's just sometimes, you know, your reading just goes in ways that you do not expect. And again, overall, I will say I've always been a mood reader. I always try to schedule myself because that's what I've done for years. I keep trying. Never, it doesn't really work. As my unfortunately fail of the March of the Mammoths this year has shown, as well as even reading mysteries. So technically the books I'm reading have little mysteries in them. They're not mysteries. They're not. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not doing what I thought I was going to do. But I'm also rolling with it, and I'm reading books that I bought this year. So that's good since I've bought a lot of books this year. I actually have stacks of books right now. I'm going to purge probably next weekend more of my books or find other places for them. I really need to buy some more bookshelves. I'm trying to figure out if I want to put a small one by my door here and maybe some on the wall in my bedroom. I'm running out of space, that's for sure. But I don't want to get rid of everything, you know, of course. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, more shelves would be nice because I have bought way too many books this year so far. So I'm going to try to calm myself down. Remember, I bought a lot of books right out of the gate of March as well, so they're all still coming in. So we'll hopefully I can hold off. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, that's a whole nother problem. Anyway, so my reading though has been, as I said, I have been reading the Pride series by Shelley, Laurensten, and I did continue into that. So I'm really glad that I picked this series to binge, even though yes, I bought all those books, or most of them. I bought, of the 9 books in that series, I bought 7 of them so I could finish it. But I can say that this week I did finish it. So on book, I think, did I finish this Sunday? Sunday, I think, I finished Bear Meets Girl by Shelly, Laurensten. So this is book 7 in the Pride series. And again, these are paranormal romances. They are zany and hilarious and over the top. Like, these are people you do not want to be around. They are brutal, but it's just funny. And their emotions are very high. Like, they're just so much fun. These ones was another good book. It's not in my top tier of the series, but this is definitely one of the really good entries. I enjoyed it throughout because it was surprising in some of the things that happened in this one. So again, we have I think he's a polar shifter. I'm pretty sure he is. And then she's a polar bear, and then she's a Siberian tiger. And she is brutal, and he's a cop, and so it was just so much fun because, you know, she's so brutal, and he's like, wait. It was just fun. Anyway, I really liked it. Again, there are little, as I said, there's little mysteries in there, but I would not classify these as mysteries at all. It is so small. It's mostly, you know, the paranormal romance that is good and a good sexy times. And again, I've been enjoying this series. So again, I finished book 7. I then went on to read book 8, Wolf with Benefits. So this is book 8. So this one I liked as well. What I liked about this one was the supporting cast the most because the main character, Tony, she has a family full of, so they're jackal shifters, but they're all like prodigies. So her mother was a prodigy. Her dad was not, but you know, they're you know, that's fine. But then Tony was the oldest, and she is not technically a prodigy, but her other, I think it was like 7 siblings. I don't know. It's so many of them. And they're all prodigies in different areas like math and science and music, different instruments. and two of the youngest twins are into languages. It was just amazing, like the cast of characters that we met, and then it was just, and then her kind of coming into her own. And again, the hero kind of took a backseat to her family in this story, but I love the way, because it's a character we've seen before in his family and his things that happen with him, but it's still more of her story. It was really good. I really enjoyed this one. This is one of the ones I really enjoyed. So anyway, so I read that one super fast. And then I read Bite Me, which is book 9 and the final full novel in the Pride series. So this one was a weird one, because this one actually had honey badgers in it. I was so excited. Actually, the honey badger was the best friend of Tony in the other book. So we met her in that one. I was so excited, because again, I know about the Honey Badger Chronicles, which comes after this series. So but Bite Me was the last one in this one. So we follow her, and we follow another hybrid who is a tiger and a grizzly. So it's so funny. She has a note in the beginning saying, this isn't really what he looks like, but it was really cool for the graphics for the cover. So it's not really him. It's funny that they just had to they picked one side of him, so they picked the tiger because there wasn't one on any of the other covers. It was funny. Anyway, so this is my only one that was kind of more damaged of the used books that I bought online, but it's fine. I mean, as I said, it looks well loved. And again, I really enjoyed this one too. This one much more. This one was a lot of bringing a lot of the characters from all the series like into this book. I think there's only a few that didn't show up. I think it was mostly almost all the characters in the Pride series showed up in this. So I really liked this one overall. It didn't go in directions I expected. It was not one of my favorites though. So I did like it a lot. So as I said, for the series. So I did actually complete all the main novels in the Pride series. So just to kind of recap, is the Shelley Laurensten has a couple series that kind of connect. So there is a series called the Magnus Pack series that actually was the first book she wrote, and then she wrote the Pride series, which comes after that, and then she wrote the Honey Badger Chronicles, which is the one that I started with because I didn't know it connected to her older series until I was reading those, and I kind of go, there's all these characters that she mentions. I'm like, this is too fleshed out of a world. I'm missing something. And I did find out after that, but at the time I was already mostly through the Honey Badger, so I wanted to make sure. At the time I was only thought it was a trilogy, so I was trying to finish out the trilogy. Well, of course now book 4 has come out in the Honey Badger series last year, and I have not read it yet. But I've decided, as I said, I went back and I started reading the Pride series. And when I was looking at the Pride series, I realized that the Magnus pack actually is connected to this one. So, yeah, so it's all connected. But I'm really enjoying my reading of Shelley Laurensten. Again, I like this series because it builds on it with the different characters, and you see ones from old books coming into them. And so overall, this was a great paranormal romance. If you like zany, crazy, over-the-top, dramatic, I don't usually, I would say this is not what I read mostly for paranormal romance, but for some reason, Shelley Laurensten just hits it for me. And I've enjoyed all of her books, at least mostly. Like, again, there's certain ones I didn't like quite as well as others. The Beast in Me is still my lowest of the ones I've read of hers, just because the beginning was, that first 100 pages was really hard for me. All the other ones, I dive right in and I just enjoy the ride. And it's just been so much fun. So I'm glad that I finished at least the Pride section of the series. Now there is a prequel that came out much later. So I will be reading that, but I'm going to read it in a different order. I'll explain in a second. So, then, I'll also talk about a book that I did try to read this week, but Friday, so I'd finished all those books by Friday, and that to me, I read those all really, really quickly. And so Friday, I thought, okay, you know what, I finished the Pride series, I'm feeling really good, let's try another book. So that night, I picked up another book, and I read about 15 pages, and I thought, okay, I'll take this to work tomorrow. And that was the worst mistake, because I got to work, and I did not, on my breaks, I was not, at lunchtime, I did not pick up the book. Like, I looked at it, And I just went, I can't do it. I can't read that book. My brain will not let me read that, even though I really, really want to read that book. I was so mad that I had not brought the next book that I planned to read by Shelley Laurensten. I was so mad at myself. So I wasted a lunch break because I didn't read anything. It was so bad. But when I got home, I started Pack Challenge by Shelley Laurensten. This is the first book in the Magnus Pack series. So as I said, I've gone back to the first series that kind of connects all of them. And so a couple of these characters did pop up through the Pride series, but very lightly. But I knew that I knew that they came from another series, because you knew that they were important for some reason, but I didn't know. Like, there's one of the books I've marked where we first met the couple that are in here, and I was like, I know they got to be in one of those other books, and they were the first book. So we're following her name went right out of my head. Oh, Sarah. And she lives in a small Texas town, and she was attacked as a child at age 8 and lost her father. She had lost her mother many years before that, but she was attacked and really hurt and brought to live with her grandmother, who was kind of one of those people that nobody in the whole town, this little town, likes. Like, they all hated her. And we're following Sarah now that she's in her 20s and her grandmother has just passed away. And she is really in pain from the attack on her that had injured her quite a bit. But something else is obviously going on, because a pack of bikers come through, and there's something kind of different about them. So we meet Zach, who is there to kind of assess Sarah and some things in her past and how things she's dealing with things. And I really like the dynamic of this. This is one of the more insta-lovey of all the books that I've read by her, except that it was really well done with, again, the pack shifter mentality and a lot of things of her learning about herself. And she has 2 crazy friends who are the leads in the next 2 books. So, and again, Shelley Laurensten from the beginning wrote crazy. This is from 2006. So again, I think this is the oldest book of hers that I own or read. So it was fun. It's definitely not going to be a favorite, but it's definitely one I would revisit, because it was so much fun. Even with that slight insta-love kind of thing in there, or lust. I guess it's more lust. Let's just say it wasn't really love. It was insta-lust. There was a lot of good stuff in here. So again, this one had kind of more of that mystery, something going on, something, or more adventure. I guess more adventure side. So, and again, that's what I like about these, is there's always action adventure, just enough to, I love that kind of stuff. So it's just fun with the shifters. So this was I thought this was pretty good, considering how much older, from everything else that I've read from her. And I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to finally figure out how, Sarah and Zach got together, and how that, with the scenes I've seen of them in the Pride series, it was nice to know. It was just, 2 scenes, but it still was good to know where they came from. So I finished that yesterday on Saturday. So really, I read 1 book every 2 days. For me, that is really good. So I finished 4 this week. That was really, really good for me. So let's talk about the book that I'm in the middle of right now, which is Go Fetch by Shelley Laurensten, which is book 2 in the Magnus Pack series. So this follows Sarah's best friend Mickey, and she is like super intelligent, and she's got several master's degrees. She's going for her doctorate, I think, at this book. So she is traveling from Texas, and then she'll be going to Seattle to do her dissertation and stuff. So we see her interact with Sarah in her new situation. And then she, of course, is, there's Connell, who is super attracted to her from the very beginning. In the last book, it was hilarious. So they're now getting closer in this one, but she really doesn't want anything to do with him, because she's trying to keep on track for finishing her dissertation. But also she's scared to fall in love, because her mother had her as a single, as a pregnant teenager. So she doesn't want to fall into that trap, even though she's in her late 20s. So anyway, it's just kind of, again, she's got issues, but she's also brutal, because she's a small, petite woman, and she speaks her mind. She's very, very smart, and but she'd cut you anyway. But she's human, so again, there's the shifters, and then there's her, and then there's some kind of mystery going on with some shifters in the area. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this. As I said, I keep talking about these are just so much fun. There's no one to talk to about them. To these, but I really, really enjoy these. So anyway, I am this one, you know, is not my. I don't think this is going to be one of my favorites, but I think just because Mickey sometimes, I mean, to me, I think she's a little cruel for no reason. But you know, it's a Shelley Laurensten book. They're just mean sometimes. It's funny. Anyway, not people you want to meet in real life, but it's just fun. So anyway, so Go Fetch is book 2 in the series, so I'm hoping to finish that out today. I have about 175 pages, but these pages are not super dense. They're I think I should be able to finish this today. Well, we'll see. Well, I'm hoping. That's my goal, is to finish that. And then let's just talk about the book that unfortunately I could not read on Friday. And I just want to mention it because I really want to read this book. And this is another one of those library books that I waited for it, and now it's here, and now I don't really want to read it. But I want to read it. I read the first, as I said, I read the first 15 pages, I think. So not too long. I read about 17 pages. And that is The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. And I want to read this book. I like the beginning. I like the way it started and got me. I wanted to get into it. I started it too late on Thursday night to really get too far into it. But the problem was that my mind wasn't ready for epic or high or any kind, whatever kind of fantasy this is. It was not letting me go there. So we're following a justice who is traveling around the country on his certain route, and he has a young woman who is his I don't know, like his assistant or clerk, and then I think someone who's more the muscle, you know. And so they go to this small town, and right away they hear there's a witch who's practicing a different religion than what the country says should be the religion or something. So they have a confrontation with the witch and that. And I read that, and it was all really good, and I wanted to see what happens after that. But I just cannot pick this book up. Like, as I said, I picked it up that one night trying to make myself, like, I'm going to try something. I'm going to read some of my epic fantasies. I have all these fantasies, and I have this from the library. But I could not do it. I had to switch back to the Shelley Laurensten books. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this before my library it's due. I still have 2 weeks today. So maybe when I finish the Magnus Pack series, I'll be ready. I don't know, but I want to read this because I saw a lot of people do reviews on it, and I didn't watch the reviews. I wouldn't let myself do that. I just could tell that they were positive ones mostly. And I want to read this book so bad. But again, I won't purchase it until it's a paperback if I decide not to read it at the library. So I might go on my list of books that I'll buy in paperback later. Just because, I mean, again, it's not like it's going anywhere. It's the first book. I'm pretty sure this is a series, yeah. So, Empire, is it To the Wolf, For the Wolf, Of the Wolf, Empire of the Wolf? So I know that there's more books. The thing is so I'm not in a rush. I hate the fact that I have it and I want to read it, and yet I can't read it. My brain is not letting me. So I do hope to come back to this. I mean, I'm hoping that after I finish the Magnus Pack that I can move on. I can come back to this, but I don't know. We'll see. As I said, I have a couple weeks, so then I'll have to take it back to the library. So what am I going to read in the next week? Well, let's just assume I'm going to continue with the Shelley Laurensten Magnus Pack Magnus Pack series. Sorry, my brain. Book 3 is Here, Kitty Kitty. So this follows another one of Sarah's best friends, Angelina, and she is she is also wacky, and I think I don't know, I'm not sure of the wolf or the one that she meets. I don't know what he is yet, but oh, it looks like he might be a tiger. I don't know. I'll find out. I'm guessing, I guess it's Here, Kitty Kitty, and the other ones are wolves. So maybe that's what it is. Anyway, so we'll see. I'm not sure about this one yet, as in who the guy is. I think it's a guy that she might have met at the airport in Goat Fetch. So I don't know, that might have been a clue to him, but I'm not sure yet. Anyway, but I want to, as I said, I'll probably finish this book out as well this week. It looks like it's the longest of the 3 books. So we'll see what happens. So I'm not sure how they're going to wrap up that series, because the series is only 3 novels. So I want to finish out the novels. And then there is a short novella in this one, which is on a character who's talked about a lot in the Pride series. So 2 of the characters. The 2 characters that get together in this. Her story is called Miss Congeniality, which is hilarious when you know what character that is. Because Irene is not Congeniality. That's hilarious. I don't know how this is going to go. I haven't let myself read the back yet because it's a little, so I'm reading them in order right now. But this is considered 3.5 in the Magnus pack. And, she's, and she's one of those people who's kind of cold on the outside, like you're not quite sure. But she's, like, also brutally honest and also doesn't give a shit about things. And then she meets a wolf shifter. Again, she's human and I'm looking forward to this one. Like, so I'm definitely going to get to this one after I get through those. So again, I'm not sure if I'm going to read the Cynthia Eden book yet, because I don't know the series that this is for, or if it's one I can read right off, or if it's, so I have to look more into that. Because then the last of the series of the books that I have for that's Shelley Lawrenson, that's connected to the Magnus and to the Pride series, is in Howlett. The first book, or the novella in this one, is called Like a Wolf with a Bone, which is is the parents of some characters that are in the Pride series, and we get to see how they get together. And they're, as I said, he is a killing machine, and they're wolves. I think they're both wolves. And then I'm not sure how he gets together with his wife, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure those are the 2. We'll see what happens. I can't remember. I swear it was. Anyway, it'll be interesting because this is actually 0.05 of the Pride series. But I left it till last because it actually was printed, or it was released, well, at least in physical form. It came out later. It actually came out in 2012, so it came out partway through the series, and I didn't know that until I got the book at the end of February. So by then I'd already passed, or I was passing that point in my reading. So anyway, I'm gonna come back to this one, and then technically the Pride series and the Magnus packer will be done. And then we'll see. Do I pick up the Honey Badgers again, and reread the first 3 books so I can read book 4, and then have the whole series done? Because so the overarching story is called the Smith Pack, because they're kind of intermixed throughout a lot of it. But really, the Magnus clan is the first section, Pride is the second, and then the Honey Badgers is the third. And I really want to finish out the Honey Badgers because I have that last book, and then. Again, it's on my list of books that I pre-ordered that I haven't read yet. It's on my list of series I want to finish, which is, again, has one more book left, which is, again, the Honey Badger Chronicles. So anyway, if I feel that I can't pick up the Justice of Kings, or I have one more library book I'm picking up today, Dead Silence, if I can't read those, I mean, I'll try them both, or try to get a little farther and see if, again, they'll go on my list of I'll buy when they get in paperback. But again, that'll be a year. I don't know. We'll see. But again, as I said, Shelley Laurensten is just doing it for me right now. And because the way work is, I just need that escape. And these are just letting me do that. And I don't have a problem, when I'm actually making progress in series and finishing them. So as I said, I'm halfway now through, a little less than halfway through the Magnus pack series. So I'm hoping to finish out that this week. And then we'll see if I go back and reread the Honey Badgers Chronicles so that I can finish that one out. I don't know. I might. Or I might get to Justice of Kings. I'm not sure. And again, my Mammoth has just kind of gone by the wayside. All the mysteries I had sitting out, they've kind of gone by the wayside. I can't force myself to read other things. Right now, I tried, didn't work. I'm not going to do that again until I'm done with at least the Magnus pack series. And once I'm done with that one, then I'll assess again if I can pick up something else or if I'm going to read the Honey Badger series. So it probably is no surprise to you that I have a couple more Shelley Laurensten books coming to me in the mail because I bought I had most of the books for her Dragonkin series that she does under G.A. Aiken. So I bought the rest of those online. They're coming from Thrift Books. And then I think I have another standalone that might be connected to her Call of Crows series that also is by Shelley Lawrenson, which I love. That was I think that was the first series I finished by her, which is totally wacko, and I'm already thinking about rereading it now because it's been quite a few years since I read those. So I don't know. As I said, this might just be Shelley Laurensten spring, summer year because right now I have read more Shelley Laurensten books than over half the books that I've read so far this year have been Shelley Laurensten books. It's just gonna be her year for me. Anyway, so we'll see how far I get. If it turns out that I just read her series like all of them, don't be surprised. It's just gonna be a weird kind of year. Anyway, so how are your guys' reading going? What are you doing? Hopefully, maybe you're reading more stuff that's on your TBR. Mine are out the window. I can't force anything right now. And what calls to me right now, I'm just going to read, and that's how it's going to be. At least I'm reading. And I'm reading books that I owned or I bought this year, so that's always good to check off things that I've bought, because this year I've already bought way too many books, which is why I need to calm down and just do that. So, and again, I've cut back on my library use. The Justice of Kings and Dead Silence are the last two books that I had on my reserve list, the hold list. And I'm hoping the only other ones on there are the Kami Can't Communicate manga series. So, because those come out every 2 months, and I got myself on the wait list for those so that hopefully I'll get one before I get the next one, because they're coming out still. I don't know how long that series is, but they have up to 20 in the system. So I've put all those on hold. So they're the only ones on hold at the library. And right now I'm not going to ask for anything from the library. I can't think of any major releases that I was going to definitely ask for right now. So that could change. There could be one or two, but I'm going to try to hold off just for a little bit on my library use, because I have so many books that are in my collection that I want to read right now. Although all of them right now are Shelley Laurensten books, or G.A. Aiken, her other pseudonym. So we will see what happens. That's kind of it. I'm now rambling. I think it's just because I don't know what to say, and that's kind of it. So anyway, what are you guys reading? Anything good? Let me know. I hope your March of the Mammoths or March Mystery Madness or any of the other great readathons going on this month, that you're enjoying them. I wish I could participate, but this is just not the year for me. I think I just have to acknowledge that, stress at work has put myself into this I'm not going to say it's not a rut. It's just I've gotten on this spree, and I'm going to continue with it as long as I can before I decide to read other things. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I guess I should just really quickly, my little chart thing here, since the only thing I'm doing is continue. I finished a series, because I'm definitely going to put one for the Pride series I did, but I had continued and I started one. So this is what it looks like, but all these, almost all those are Shelley Laurensten. Not quite, but a lot of them. And again, I haven't reread anything since the first book in the Pride series. So really, I've done a lot of series reading. So my series about series is working, but maybe not quite in the way I planned. But hey, if I finish the Magnus series and I finish the Honey Badger series, hey, that's all. Those are all finishes. Anyway, okay, I need to stop rambling. I will see you guys later. Bye.